Escaping accountability amongst modern women today is at an all-time high. And you use God as a way to try to escape accountability?
Is the sheep preaching hate when he says, I'm not going to let the wolf eat me anymore? If the wolf comes in here, next time he comes in here, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep him off my back. Is the sheep violent or is the wolf the violent one? He wasn't teaching hate, he was teaching common sense. You know, somebody's knocking you over the head, stop him. Do whatever you have to do to stop him. You know, the ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back. So they said, no, he's teaching hate. He's violent.
What's up, y'all? And welcome back to another episode of the Warsheep podcast, where today we're going to be doing a review on a video from MTR. I believe it's called Women Get Pregnant After the Husband Passes Away and Instantly Regrets It. So let's see what this video is talking about a little bit, dive deep into it. We want to offer up some of our thoughts on this topic and this whole situation. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Doing making music. Don't ask me how I did it. I just did it. It was hard.
Okay, first of all, for you to get pregnant 2 months after your husband's passing, that's kind of, I mean, what do you say about that? You know, like 2 months, literally, like you've had to been working on this thing. It couldn't have been more than a month. You let 30 days of grieving go. I mean, Bible says allow the dead to bury the dead. I don't knock you for moving on. I would have just thought that you would have taken some time with yourself to work out any trauma, any sort of issues, you know, maybe going to see a therapist, you know what I mean? Allowing yourself some time to just actually heal, you know what I mean, before jumping into a completely and totally different situation. It's usually a little healthier that way, you know, for future relationships, but maybe your mind wasn't on like longevity with this guy that you got knocked up by. Maybe you just want him to beat the bonds, and that's about it. But let's go ahead and continue.
It was hard.
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom.
My husband passed away and I started talking to a man a couple months later. Let me tell you the story. So this was an old friend that I knew since I was 15. I wanted that male attention. I missed that male attention.
Okay.
So
First of all, okay, so she misses the male attention. He came without a dime to his name. Okay, you're not looking for somebody to cover you. You're not looking for somebody to take the position of your husband. You're looking for somebody who come through and just beat the bonds. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're signing up for. You know, you seem like that you might be in your 30s, something like that. You've been married for 10 years. I'm sure you got children. The dating world is completely different now. The way that men and women interact with each other out here is totally different. And I could understand you entering back into a situation or coming back out into the world and thinking that it's going to be a certain way. That's the why you mentioned he didn't have $1 in his pocket, a dime to his name. You know, thinking it might be a certain way, but really it's changed. It's switched up. It's totally different now. So you know what you was getting yourself into. You knew what you wanted to do. You knew this guy was in the position that he was in before you even invited him out. So that's what I'm actually gathering from. That's what I'm actually gathering from what you're saying. And so you can't be mad at him for not have. I'm pretty sure he told you. You know what I mean? And if he didn't tell you, or if he might have sold you a bill of goods, man, we're gonna see if this guy sold her a bill of goods or not. Because at this moment, it's your fault. He told you what he had to tell you. You decided to continue on and to meet this guy out, things like that. Totally on you.
invited him over. He came here with not a dime to his name. I'm grieving. I'm a mess. I'm drinking every day. I'm trying to numb the pain, right? because I just lost my husband that I was with for almost 10 years. I'm paying for everything. I'm a fool, right? We're getting liquor every night.
Okay, so hold on a second. We're gonna have to pause right here. You're using keywords, triggering words to trigger somebody's emotion by saying and making it specific as to it being your husband's money that you inherited from his death. Nobody told you to spend that money. Nobody told you to utilize that money for that. You know what I mean? Like you're fully responsible to be responsible with those funds. And I understand your emotional state, but however, that's another thing you can't blame anybody else but yourself for. But let's continue.
We're ordering DoorDash every night, spending my husband's money that I got because he passed away. So I'm a widow, right? You don't fuck with widows.
Oh,
that's what the Bible says.
Look that up real quick. And we can see right here in Exodus 22:22, it states that you shouldn't. She's close enough. She paraphrased it. So I did a quick little bit of research to see exactly where she was headed with that. So that way you as a viewer would know, because some of y'all don't read y'all Bible. Let's be honest, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of people don't know everything that's in there. So I took the liberty of finding what she's referring to and why she said it. But let's go ahead and continue.
Oh, you're a trash bag. You're a Super Saiyan gaslighter. How dare you lie to me? As if the man that wanted your cheeks in this situation, the friend, is at fault. He doesn't know your husband. He's not friends with your husband. He wasn't married to your husband. He has no relationship to your husband whatsoever. But you do. And women control sex, not men. But you're setting this up as if he is the evil one for you.
I totally agree. Like the word play she's using is completely like it's painting a picture of a one-sided story, right? So it's painting a picture of a one-sided story. Who knows? He could have paid for a few things that night, but she just didn't really pay attention. She just kind of chalked it up as small things. A lot of women will downplay a lot of things that you do. Not all, just some. A majority will downplay a lot of things that you do, and they would say if they even spent money on one or two things that they purchased everything. You know what I mean? So you never know, because we weren't there, so we can't pass a judgment. That's why I dislike when women do this and tell their side of the story without the man actually being present to defend himself, because you only get one side, but you get a stir up of emotions all the way throughout social media, all throughout, all throughout the internet. And next thing you know, people are up in arms until they figure out what the truth is, and then it blow back on her. You know what I mean? And it just happened too often that way. But I agree with MCR on this one. Let's go ahead and continue.
Accepting him into not only your house, but also your guts. Escaping accountability amongst modern women today is at an all-time high. And you use God as a way to try to escape accountability? It's in the Bible. Shut up.
Not in those words, but you don't do that. Just wait. Please listen to this whole story. Just wait. So he tells me, I'm going to get a job. I want to help you. I want to help the girls. I want to be there for you because we've known each other for years. And you were there for me at my lowest. So I want to be there for you. That's what he told me. But it wasn't like that at all. He stayed for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks I was paying for a grown man that was staying in my husband's home.
That was your choice. That was your choice.
Like MCR said, that was your choice. Why did you move him in? What was the circumstances? Did you just need to meet in the house? That's it. You know what I mean? You wanted to have easy access to what you were using as you were using him. You were using him as a way to cope. You were using him as a way to release. You know what I mean? Like if anything, you didn't plan on having a future with this guy. So I don't even know why you allowed him to make any commitment to you, your children, or anything, because you weren't really planning a future with him. That's what that tells me. Because you would have moved differently. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have been such in a hurry to get him moved into your house without understanding what the plan truly was and seeing some effort, some work coming from him. What was the circumstances? Why did he have to move in? What's going on with that? You were not prepared to jump not only from a marriage that you just recently lost your husband, divorcee, to jump directly into, after 2 months, jump into a relationship with a guy that is solely based on physical, based on sex. That's it. That's all it was based on. That was a very poor choice on your part. And also for him, he's just looking for purpose. He's a man looking for purpose, looking for a reason to step up and be a real man. From what I can see, from what he was saying, he wanted to step to the plate, which is, it's an honorable thing. Bottom line is that you should have set your boundaries. You should have went out back into the dating market, back into the market, understanding and having expectations of finding somebody to fill that void, fill that gap from your husband's passing, rather than going out and just getting your guts rearranged and looking for somebody just to beat the buns. That was the worst decision to make, not only for yourself but also for your children. So we all make mistakes here. So I mean, it's not like anything, but you're learning. Hopefully you're learning from them. You know what I mean? But it sounds like you're making more excuses than you are actually, taking accountability. Like MCR is saying, accountability. You're not receiving the accountability. So that way you won't learn. You'll go back out and repeat the same process. Choose a bad person once again. That man who's not ready for you, not ready to step up to the plate, not ready to handle his responsibility, will do the same thing that you know what I mean? It'll just be a repeat of the same situation. So hopefully you can be able to hear some things from some people who've doing these videos and actually learn from your mistakes and say, you know what, let me slow down, find somebody who's prepared to fill the void for me. It seems like you might still be a decently attractive woman. I'm not too sure how active you are in the gym and things. If you're not, focus on going to the gym. Focus on getting your mental health together. Making sure that you're content and completely ready to go. Yet that you're working on doing that self work to build yourself back up so you can be the right woman for another man that comes in. Or else, it's going to just be problems overall. You might have expectations that you put off on him that, that man's not the same man as your husband. So he's not going to be able to fulfill those same expectations that you're looking for him to fulfill. So, you want to be sure that you meet that man where he's at and not where you want him to be. Right. And that takes a little bit of self work, a little bit of therapy, to be sure that you're not, overshooting the expectations and you're not burning through having man just rotating through, the door. And you can be able to pick them and spot one who's actually prepared to fill that void of you being a widow. You know what I mean? So that's what I got to say about that.
Sorry. It still upsets me. This was 2 years ago. What? But he was my friend, right? So he decides that he wants to go back to Chicago.
Oh, this is horrific.
I decided that's probably the best thing because I'm not right in my head right now. I'm not okay.
Right now?
I'm not ready for this. So he leaves.
Again, why did he decide to go back to Chicago? Why are you so quick to be able to agree to that? I mean, it's got to be something that has transpired that made him feel as though he wanted to leave. Something that happened between you two that made him feel as though that was not the right move for him to make, is to invest his time and effort into building up or to filling that void for you. What happened? You know what I mean? Like, you just don't know. You left out a huge gap of information. How were you behaving? You said you weren't right in your head. Yeah, you got to get therapy first. You can't just jump out there. You know what I mean? So you got to spend some time alone, do some self-work, some self-healing, things like that. So we continue.
You know what this is like? This is like, let's say a homeless person worked onto me on the street. You know what? Let's not even say a homeless person. Let's say it was just someone that needed money because they lost their wallet. And they say, hey, do you mind if you can give me $20 so I can get home? And I say, sure, here's my money. And then later on, I think to myself, damn, I just got taken advantage of at the bus stop. Oh, woe is me, my $20 because I made an active decision to give this person $20. You made an active decision to let a man into your house, and now you're the victim of your own decisions. What type of widow are you to grieve over your husband with deep strokes? Oh, but I was so fragile, I was grieving. No, you're a thought. Shut up. You've always been a thought. You make thought-like decisions, which in its essence, there's nothing wrong with that. We all got lives. We could choose what we want to do with our lives, but you're painting this picture as if this guy is a goddamn monster, but he's not. That's what I have a problem with. Dragging the image of men for the sake of your pathetic victimhood. Shame on you.
See, this is the thing, right? You chose to go out and find and have him and receive him. I'm sure he told you about the situation. Your choices led to you getting exactly what you were looking for, which is somebody just to come through and beat the buns. Then you led to yourself making a decision to take somebody who you've determined that's what you want from them. You don't want them for a full commitment. You want them just for pleasure, right? And you take them and you move them into your home so you can be able to have easy access to that pleasure, right? You were not looking for a full-blown relationship with this man. So you're not going to invest fully into that space. So there was no reason for you to actually move him into anything. And there's no reason for him to have moved in with you. It's because you weren't fully invested. You weren't really to give your all into that because you didn't put the work, you didn't put the time in, and you were not, your intentions were not for longevity. Your intentions were for pleasure. That's about it. And that's usually not long lasting. That's usually instant gratification. That's just where your mind and your head was at. I really hope you weren't doing anything while your husband's on this earth. Hopefully you were faithful to him as well, because your behavior and the way that you're moving and some of the life choices you're making, it's like, already it's like, I can only hope that that man was honored by you. You know what I'm saying? You honored him and you treated him well. But benefit of the doubt, maybe, maybe not. Let's continue.
You made the decision. You let him in. There were consequences to that. You can escape accountability in your echo chambers, but not over here.
Of course, I had to pay for him to leave because he's a broke ass motherfucker, right? Oh. But when he left, I felt so much better. Things were happening in my home, like my radio fell. My lights were flickering.
Why you gotta be on that?
I feel like that was a sign from my husband to get this guy out.
Again,
he stole some things from my husband that
you knew what you were doing. You knew what you're gonna get. Why are you bitching about it? And then speaking of bitching about it, check out the merch on sale right now. Ain't gonna bitch about it. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. We're gonna praise Yah, glorify Yah in all things, right? No matter what situation we're in. But one thing we ain't gonna do, we ain't gonna bitch about it. All right. So y'all go ahead and go copy y'all some merch real quick. Buy about 50 of them joints. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and represent people who don't stop, can't stop, won't stop. No Diddy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all gonna buy y'all about 50 of them joints. All right. Well, let's get back into it. You're bitching about it. This is what you chose. You chose this. You must take accountability. I chose this. Boom. And we're done. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go on and continue.
Realized after he left, he stole a cologne that my husband would only wear on special occasions. The Johnny Depp cologne. I spent like $109 on it, and my husband said, I'm only going to wear this on special occasions.
I'm sorry, I have a sick sense of humor. I could just imagine that the husband is in heaven flicking the lights on and off as this poor bastard is going deep inside the woman that he thought that he loved. Flick, flick, flick. No, no, please stop stroking her. Baby, you said that you love me. It's only been 2 damn months. Now you're letting this guy just stroke you out, panicking. Jesus and God are holding him. We're sorry. We tried to tell you she was a thought the entire time, but you decided to marry her. We tried to go in your dreams and tell you and show you the way, my son, but now you must learn it in its purest form.
I'm not even going to say how much money I spent. It's ridiculous. But I told him, I said, karma will get you.
Every guy's been here where they committed to a woman who was not on that level to be committed to, who was not supposed to be. I mean, just about every guy's been here, you know, and that's what really creates those guys who just players who run through water like it ain't nothing. Yeah, or who run through women like it ain't nothing. You know what I mean? You know, who keep it pure. Because my thing is that, you know, it just happens. You run into them, you commit to them. Then next thing you know, you find out what their true colors were and are this whole time. And, you know, how much time you've wasted, how much of an embarrassment. And so, you know, I can't knock them, but make better decisions, fellas. Make better decisions. All right? Just choose wisely. If you're younger and you're just getting into the, man, slow down. Understand who they are before you actually commit to them. Understand what their nature is, the morality. You know what I mean? Understand everything, the morality, the level of commitment, what they've done in their past. Talk to them. See where they're at. You know, see where they're at mentally. What have they done? What's the wildest thing they? You know what I mean? Like, you got to really dig and pick their brains on it so you'll understand it. No, and it's all right. I mean, why wouldn't you do your own due diligence and investigations if you feel like you plan on doing something or committing to somebody, you know, or you plan on having that person commit, you know, or if they feel like they really want to deep dive, do your investigation, do your due diligence, be sure you understand, you know, who labors amongst you. You know what I mean? You know, the person who you're, you know, what are they there for? You know, we can go on and on with this conversation, but slow down, investigate. What's their Instagram looking like? What's the social media game looking like? Are they heavily on social media? And if they are, then you already know what to do. You know, you got to really evaluate a lot of that, right? So, yeah, do they have a problem with you telling them to remove themselves or to leave social media? You know, these are some of the things you really, really got to ask and question, right? So, slow down, y'all. All right, let's go and get back into it.
Sorry,
what
my
about
daughter
you?
called me, but I said karma will get you.
Karma will get you.
Because you don't mess with widows. I was at my lowest point in my life, and you stole from my dead husband.
Because he used
and
the
myself.
cologne?
So tell me why a week later he calls me. He says, I was by 63rd and Francisco in Chicago. That's my husband's neighborhood. That's where I met my husband. That's where he's from. I said, what happened? Because I wanted more information, right? He says that 8 dudes jumped him and they were beating him. He got broken ribs. He had a big ass busted lip, 2 black eyes.
You sure know how to
His
choose
head
them.
was swollen. I said, send me a picture. He sends me a picture of his whole body, his chest, his head. I was like, He calls me back. I said, you know what? That's your karma. I said, my husband, who is dead, did this to you because you messed with me. You came into my home and you took advantage of me and you stole from him.
Fellas, watch out for these witches casting spells, wanting to curse your life. You know, that's why you got to move very methodically. You got to move very slow with them. You got to understand who they are, what type of person they are, what type of heart they have. You know what I'm saying? Or you need to get your prayer life up. You need to start praying, sending back curses, strengthening yourself, getting closer to you. You need to do something. You know what I'm saying? Because you get women like this who are sending out curses, who are speaking curses out of their mouth. They don't even understand that they're doing it. They're just naturally doing it because this is what women actually do, right? When they're thinking about or discussing an ex or whatever, you gotta get your prayer life up. You gotta really guard your heart and protect yourself, because this is what happens. You know what I mean? People wishing death on you or wishing things to come to you that's harmful. You know what I mean? So just we got to get better equipped, understanding the woman and how she thinks and what her mind is. You might think that she might not do something that because you wouldn't do it to a person, because you're an honorable person and you won't do it to them. But to tell you the truth, that means nothing to a woman. She will do the things that you feel like that she should. Oh, she would never do that, man. I'm gonna keep it honorable. I wouldn't do that to her, so I'm not expecting her to do that to me. That's exactly what she's gonna do to you. It's the things that you said you wouldn't do to her. She's gonna do that to you. That's what's gonna happen. She gonna listen. She gonna whip out that nice little dip, man. She gonna every time. So do not think that they're not capable of it. Do not think that they won't do it. Women are very petty, okay? Men, majority of the time, I don't want to harm her. I don't want to do this to her because that's going to put her in a bad situation. Blah, 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 blah. You better get it done. Whatever you got to do to separate and do what you got to do to protect yourself, do that, because she's going to be doing that to you. I'm trying to tell you, no Vaseline. I'm like a motherfucking lady teller. You understand what I'm saying? No Vaseline on that, right? So come on, get to it.
He goes, F you, you B, da 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 da. I said, no, fuck you. And I hung up. And I've never spoken to him since. He wrote me and said, don't worry, I'll pay all the money back that you spent on me. I'll send you back your cologne that I took from your husband. And nothing. Nothing at all. If your husband passed away, or your wife, never jump into something. Just wait, because you're not in your right mind, and things could happen. But I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm sorry, I know my daughter was calling me throughout the video, but I got up like 3 times to see what she wanted, just to clear that up. Also, one more thing. He told me the reason why I took the cologne was because I didn't think your husband needed it anymore. That's what he told me. When I tell you that I've never hated somebody so much in my life that I knew since I was a kid, and I trusted this person, you know? Be careful who you trust. Be careful who you know, because people are snakes, people are dogs, people will take advantage of you.
I know I was cracking a lot of jokes within this video, but this is truly sick, sad, and pathetic. And I think that every man that is watching content like this should really try to understand the mindset of women like this so you can do your best to try to avoid it. Can you ever imagine being in a relationship with a woman like this that refrains from any and all means of accountability when it comes to anything that they do within their life? See, the thing is that I do not expect women to take as much accountability as me. I just find that they're not built that way. I don't try to combat it. I just accept it. And because I accept it, I understand that as a masculine man, I need to be the leader within my relationship, to be accountable for her decisions as well. She is an emotional being. She is apt to be confused. She is apt to be controlled. She is apt to make mistakes and just not accept accountability, which she can grow from, where she can learn from. And I think a lot of women do it from a biological reasoning as well, because accepting that accountability and forcing change may actually take you up out of your femininity. But at the end of the day, if you do not have a leader, a protector, then you are required to make fantastic decisions for yourself. And in this fantastic woman's situation, it only took a couple of months to revert back into her thought-like ways with someone that she considered a friend. And I talk to you guys all the time about allowing women to have male friends in their life, because those male friends are waiting for you to be removed out the picture, whether it be through the end of a relationship or your untimely demise. But this woman, with all of her agency but lack of accountability, allowed a man into her domicile to stroke the life up out of her. Mind you, this guy was no different than when he came into her life and was no different when he left her life.
So, and once again, if you are in a situation like this, right, please do not do what this woman's doing, right? Don't just go out and spread it for anybody. Don't just go out and just start thinking, oh, okay, well, I just need to fill a void, or I just need to feel something because I'm so sad and all this other shit. I mean, usually that's an excuse. Man, she probably grieved for about a good 30 days, or maybe not even that, you know, and then figured, okay, well, I better move on. Okay, well, it's how you moved on, not that you moved on. It's how you did. You know, if you moved on and seeking somebody to fill the void that your husband once had, then that is an honorable way to see it. That you were looking for the right man to come and fill that void. And I would have more of a benefit of the doubt towards you if he were to have expressed, hey, I'm this guy, I'm on this type of level, I can take care of you and them, and I want to commit this and do that. And then he showed up and none of that was true, and you wind up paying for everything, you wind up taking care of him, this, that, and the third, you know, then I could really sympathize with what your position is, because that was him taking advantage of you. But if you understood and knew full well as to what you were getting yourself into and who he was before coming into this thing, you've known him for a while, I'm pretty sure y'all got a dialogue and conversation. And you know, my thing is were you guys friends during your marriage? You know what I'm saying? And that really speaks a lot. You know what I mean? That if you guys were still friends during your marriage, then what were you guys doing at that time? Were you guys, you know what I mean? And it really exposes a lot when it comes to women and having male friends, right? Because it's like they usually are just around until the guy moves around, and then they're able to fill that void. They're able to come in when he's not, you know, stepping up and doing certain things that she wants him to do, right? So that's neither here nor there. But I would give you the benefit of the doubt if that would have been the case and that was the situation, but it was not. The case in the situation was that you made those decisions. You made those choices that you had to live with. I appreciate you guys joining me and watching this video here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts is, man. Is she like in the right here? Like, should you give her the benefit of the doubt just based on her mourning her late husband? Or is this totally on her, man? Keep the conversation flowing in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. If you agree with me, disagree with me, I don't really care. Put it down in the comment section, and we'll see you in the next one. All right. Shalom.